What next for Rwanda after ACOA2025? That's the question that I was brooding over after more than 2,000 accounting professionals, including over 500 Rwandan delegates, gathered in Kigali for the historic 8th edition of the ACOA return home on the 9th of May. And then came the answer, or at least the first major step forward. The official launch of Rwanda's IFRS Sustainability Disclosure Standards Adoption Roadmap, officiated by Mr. Obadia R. Biraro, the president of ICPAR. He unpacks what this roadmap means for Rwandan's future and why it is the next frontier for our corporate and economic landscape.
Yes.
Yeah, so your question is about sustainability standards. Rwanda adopting, if you listened to the session, the presenters were telling us that there was in Africa there is Nigeria and Kenya, maybe South Africa, I'm not sure. But vividly I heard of Kenya and Nigeria and Kenya. Some of these things you people should not be taking them either in abstract, superficial, or superfluous. It has something to do. You see, accounting is a language, and the language that is used in abstract becomes not useful.
Which is exactly why you're here to elaborate a little bit.
Yeah. So. Those economies, if you can trace them vis-a-vis these IFRS sustainability standards, you will see that no wonder they are as big as they are. Might it be? I'm not saying. I'm not fixing anything. You know? So, accounting being a language, we communicate what we do. We communicate to the strategic stakeholders, and maybe there is something we want from them. I'm sure in economics you know something we call quid pro quo.
Yeah.
Okay? Quid pro quo is equity. Get what you deserve, I get what I deserve. Therefore, investors, stakeholders of all kinds, and let's just talk of, say, the government. You know, if you say you are a taxpayer, don't you need to disclose in a trustworthy manner your activities to revenue authority, and you say, this is the tax I think I should pay. Then revenue authority will say, I think that's correct, bring the money. Or they will come and do veracity. Veracity means proof of truthfulness. But we want to improve that. The setters of these standards want to improve that and go a step ahead, extra, and say, yes, this year you have told us this. You have declared the tax that you want to pay. We have accepted. But are you sustainable?
Exactly.
So those sustainability standards are the ones that seek to give an assurance to all those who deal with you as an entity, government, companies, public limited liability companies, private, etc., that we should trust you, that beyond the 12 months, we shall find you here. It is as simple as that.
So with the standards, maybe you could give us maybe one or two, what is being brought on board to actually create that assurance. You could give us maybe a standard or two, like breakdown to what is being brought on board to ensure
what is being brought on board is actually your disclosures.
The disclosures.
The information you give to the public. Start with government. Some people in the maybe not so distant past, did not believe that the government needs information about you, taxpayer especially, that you can concoct anything and but those standards are coming to, friendly as they are, to say that we are your stakeholders. We have something in common. We have a common interest. Tell us more about yourself so that we can trust that we are dealing with an entity that we should trust, that, you know what, in Minukofin, the economists call medium term, MTF, that in the medium term, we shall come and find you here. As a taxpayer, I don't know if you have ever worked with banks or you know what banks do. Why should the bank give you 15 a loan or mortgage for 15 years? So that information that they seek from you, some of it is very strenuous, but they are trying to prove, to get an assurance about your sustainability. But now the International Accounting Standards Committee, International Financial Reporting Standards, Sustainability Standards, they are coming to put it in black and white. More, in other words, maybe one word that you can pick, more transparently. Yeah.
Transparency is the key.
More transparently.
Well, thank you so much.
Guided by certain maybe checkpoints.
Yeah.
Ticking the boxes.
Yes.
They are giving
certain
you
criteria.
Progressively the boxes that you should tick so that they believe that what you are saying is not really, the world system is increasingly becoming more public. And therefore, those set standards, things are being standardized. So that I don't do it the way you want, so that, the trustworthiness, veracity increases, improves day by day. And will become, by the way, if you want, it is a part of performance indicators of civilization. Yeah. Civilization is not driving a vehicle. It is how we handle our economy.
True.
Yeah.
Even uniformity, so
Isn't
that there is no prioritizations or,
Yeah, those standards are extremely elaborate. Maybe the way those standards being prolific information, the way in the US they do it, may not necessarily be what we shall do in year 1, year 2, year 3. But as I told that forum, a start is better than none at all.
It's true.
Yeah.
And
the road to 1,000 miles begins with that step from the bed. You wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Good.
For Royal FM, I am Joylove Ahewa.